Ah, I'm not gonna crash out. I'm gonna crash out. Oh man. Oh man. I'm not gonna crash out. I'm gonna keep my emotions in check. Commanding, what a way to start the stream. With technical difficulties, of course. Whatever. It's fine. Commanding. Oh! Commanding, I'm sorry I can't read chat yet. I need get kick chat separately because kick is being very independent lately. Don't spam me. Don't spam me. Good meowing, Black Tea Ramos. Good meowing, Oni-chan. Good meowing, Master Protos. Thank you for welcoming me to the stream. Good morning, Library Turtle. Good morning, LDTGX. Where have you been? Why you run away from me? Good morning, AK-15 9F. I don't know why I said your name that way. Good morning, Ice Cream, Ice Crime, Ice Crumb, Ice Crumb. Meow, meow, meow. Good morning, Goon Maxing Bot Cell. Good morning, Lexafate. Thank you for calling me Maple. Good morning, Caden. I love you too. I can't marry you. I'm gay. Do you want to marry a gay cat? Commanding success. Commanding aspect 345. Commanding access. Commanding accentique. It is Catter Day, believe it or not. That's true. Cash out. More rants. I'm not supposed to make threats. I'm afraid of this new, hate speech stuff. I'm worried. I'm worried about so many things. I'm worried about losing freedoms. Um, yeah. I'm worried of taking for granted free speech. And I know sometimes in my frustration and my sarcasm, I can I make a lot of threats, I think, to big tech companies. And someday that's gonna catch up to me. Commanding Sheeple, thank you for friend zoning me. Commanding Ryu137. Didn't run away, didn't have internet for 2 weeks. Okay, welcome back. It's not hate speech, it's moon speech. Oh, poor man. Can you be my lawyer? I might need you to be my lawyer in the future. Commanding Lethal Cade. Thank you for calling me mom. Commanding Fisty. Commanding. Did I miss anybody? Is Owl Knight in here? Is it missing? I don't see his chat. Good morning, Owl Knight. Oh, I see it now. I'm gay too for you. Okay, perfect. We can be gay together. I don't think we can go to Cambodia. Okay, so how do I get my thoughts in order today? One of the things I spent time doing today was I was thinking about our conversation yesterday. I know it got super political, so I'll try to tread more carefully today. But I was thinking about freedom. What does it mean to be free? How do we know? How do we assess that in the world? So I thought just like there's a happiness index and there are economic indexes, there must be a freedom index. There are a couple. So I spent not a lot, I spent like 20 to 30 minutes today looking at, I forget which version, but it was on Wikipedia, but I think the data was pulled from somewhere else. I can't remember which index, but it was ranking countries based on how free they are, and the scale went from like full democracy all the way to full authoritarianism. And holy moly, there are very few countries in the entire world that are fully democratic. The United States is not even considered fully democratic. It's considered a flawed democracy at the moment. And a lot of other places that we might have thought of as being democratic are leaning towards becoming less democratic each and every day, it seems. Well, not every day, every year, every 2 years, I believe this index is taken. Good morning, Tarragon Dragneel. I am doing well today. Good morning, Jack's Life for Hire. Oh man, why can't I gay? Good morning, Library Turtle. Oh, you drank everything in the glass? I have news for you though. It's not milk. It's not milk. The ability to do as you please, the less you can do on a whim, the less free. Yeah. Commanding teacher from Spronkets. Have you read the book How to Be Free in an Unfree World? I haven't read it, but I do want to read it. That title seems right up my alley. Meow, 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 meow. Let's see. Let's see. Um, can, can't you just say you love the company and you had a BP crash out? Exisip, you could be my second lawyer. I'm gonna need you. Commanding random passerby. Positive and negative freedoms, they clash with each other. Can you give me an example? Can you give me an example of a negative freedom versus a positive freedom that clashes? I don't even know what I'm asking, but I think above all, I do believe that there are inconsistencies, or there's no such thing as a perfect anarchy, right? There's like lawlessness will lead to bad things, but those bad things already happen when you do have laws and you do have structure. They just happen less, right? Something, social contracts. My client was suffering from beautiful princess disorder. I was not in her right mind. Okay, Oni-chan, you could be the head lawyer. Ah, commanding Deathcast. I just drank some milk. You said it's not milk. It's not. It's not milk in the cup. It's something else. Okay, after I start selling my saliva, I have to check with my lawyers if I'm allowed to do that. I will also sell Gay Cat Happy Juice. Or maybe we rebrand the saliva as Gay Cat Happy Juice. I gotta think about it. I'll have to ask my marketing team as well. Freedom ain't free. That's true, Exisip. I was thinking about it. Take in account the biases of the surveyors. Okay, that's fair enough. I agree with that. There are biases in any survey. No survey is perfect. I agree. Negative freedoms are when you're not being constrained. Positive freedoms are when you're being enabled. I see. But is there like a specific one? To be free is an idea. A lot of countries have freedom, but freedom is varied across the board. I guess you know what? That's true. Maybe we shouldn't talk about freedom in such a vague light. When I talk about freedom, I mean freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom from forced labor, freedom from freedom to freedom from government surveillance or surveillance in general. But I know all of these topics are being, they're constantly shifting and changing, and certain parts of them are being encroached on more and more every day. Good morning, bored and bothered. The conflict of freedom considered wanting to play music and another person wanting peace and quiet. No, so Deathcash, I think that's a beautiful example, but that's a very easy example. I think everyone should have a freedom to play music and in their own. So I do believe in property rights. Of like, I just think it's logical. I think logically you should be able to own a relative amount of space to be able to like live and function, and in that space you should have the ability to play music. Now, if you are in a shared space and your music playing affects others, I don't believe you should have the right to um force your will onto the other person unless it's your space and they are coming into your space, right? If it's a shared space, you should come to some agreement. Or if you're neighbors, yeah, you shouldn't play very loud music. It's rude for your neighbors. Um, if you are going to play loud music because you're having like a party or something like that, you should invite them over. Make sure you give them good food. Make sure you give them free food. Maybe alcohol if they're of age. I can't read so much and so fast. There's so much happening in the chat. Uh, Meow, meow, meow. I'm on your property. Okay, you're allowed to be. You could stay on my property. I know the Moonies live in my walls. Healthcare. Americans are free to die. Is that freedom? Um, well, so that's actually a good point, right? The point of accessible healthcare. I would argue America has some of the most accessible healthcare in the entire world. We have some of the best and some of the most accessible. Is it affordable? No. Affordable is a different, I mean, maybe affordable is a related topic to accessibility. But it sucks for people who are not super duper poor. If you're super duper poor, you could probably get treatment for free and it will be better than you could get in other countries. And I like this other thing. Everything is relative. So I don't know. You know what? I have to do more research. That's the correct answer. I don't know for sure. I have to do more research. I don't think you can force I don't think you can force healthcare workers to take care of other people or cure them for free, but there has to be, I feel like there's a good balance somewhere. The internet was once a bastion of freedom, then big companies and government showed up. I agree, and I'm worried. Unfortunately, I don't understand German, so I can't. If someone could, I think that's German. I don't know what language that is, but good morning, Cisco. I had a client with a problem of a car engine warming half a mile from his house. The car was on his neighbor's property. Um, I feel like if it's a car engine, how loud could it realistically be and for how long? Isn't that just a couple of minutes a day? I don't know. No one could pay for it, so it's never busy. Okay, good morning, Piscana. How are you, my favorite pasta? And good morning, Max. Accessible Max Acre, I mean. Not Max the teddy bear. Demanding your neighbor. Sorry, guys, I'm having trouble reading the chat today because I have to use a split chat. Meow, meow. I have trouble reading every day, but today even more so. Mm-mm. Um, yeah. Anyway, what do you mean, Chad Keith? It'll be okay. What's gonna be okay? Did I say something bad again? U.S. healthcare is worse than other country. Bongai. Um, meowing. Bongai, can you tell me, uh, which countries have better healthcare than the US? You know, because the other thing is, maybe I'm brainwashed by Americanism. Maybe I'm brainwashed by the belief that I have freedom. Um, yeah, I live. Oh, wait. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to say today It's okay, Moon. We know you hate Twitch users. I don't hate Twitch users. I love all of my Moonies equally. Now, Twitch the company, I don't hate Twitch the company either. I'm just afraid of Jeff Bezos. I've explained this many times. America's a mess because healthcare is already taxpayer funded. They double dip. These are problems much bigger than me. Sweden, okay. I think you can prove what's better by looking at how quickly you can get healthcare and the average quality and outcomes, I would say. Do you prefer us using Kick? I would prefer you being free, Max Acre, to make the choice. You decide. Use whatever platform you want to use. Because he's bald, that means he's more powerful, don't you know? Someone who's brave enough to shave off all of their hair. It's like looking straight into the sun. It's so it's definitely a dominance kind of move. A buzz cut count? I got that. I like buzz cuts. We can't talk about this right now. Anyway, what if we want to use YouTube? There is no VOD? Wait, what do you mean YouTube? I do upload the VODs, I'm just behind. I'm like a month behind. Yesterday we were talking about colonialism. I won't go down that rabbit hole again, but I was wondering, to keep it like less edgy, we were also talking about that Kirk man. We won't mention him again. How do you guys feel about drones being used to kill civilians? How do you feel about that personally? I'm curious. I was thinking, so like, all of this is related, right? I was on one of those index sites and I ended up reading some articles and seeing some video footage. I won't say of where, because, whatever. But imagine if you live there. Also, if where you live, you were you not were afraid, but if where you live there was a chance you could be bombed by a drone by walking in the wrong places, right? Would you stay there and live, or would you try to leave, or would you join the army, or do you have a place you could go? Um, meow, good morning, Tarsal. Moon afraid to shave. I'm single, so I don't have to. What about women with a shaved head? Dominant or just cute? Or slightly cancerous? Definitely dominant and cute. I love women with any kind of hair. I love clankers. Probably, what's insurgency mean again? I forget what that word means. The issue is killing civilians part. I remember when Obama did that, it was controversial. Oh boy, was it. Damn, girl, are you a communist? Because I see an uprising in my lower class. Level 99 schizo. Thank you. Don't flirt with me while I'm streaming. It's a conflict of interest. I'm busy. Let's see. Airdropped landmines are awful. Landmines are worse. You'd probably want to leave. I prefer to be killed by a person so I can haunt. Drones are a tool like everything else. It's always a person's actions to put the drone in place. Gotta leave. So like, cause all these things are related, right? How do you feel about immigration then? And if you were living in a place like that, would you want to leave or would you stay put? And would you feel really sad if you tried to leave but you couldn't enter a different place? I don't know. Anyway, thinking about all this made me realize that even though the United States is definitely not perfect, I could be in a much worse place. I read about some place in Central Asia that begins with a T. I don't remember how to say it or how to spell it, but They don't even have satellite TV. Their citizens aren't allowed to go to any non-government approved websites. They're like not allowed to look at the news. It wasn't Tajikistan, but it was close. It was a different one. It was a different one. Anyway, it made me it made me think I should be a little bit more grateful. I don't think, yeah, I think it was Turkmenistan. I think it was that one. Anyway, I think I should be, oh yeah, Accentique said that. Don't go to Turkmenistan. That's the one. That's the one. I'm like, oh, I wasn't born there. So, anyway, my point isn't to be complacent. My point is like to be grateful and proud that the US citizens have a lot of freedoms compared to a lot of places in the world. Yeah, like North Korea too. Um, but we shouldn't take those for granted, and we should be willing to protect those freedoms if it comes down to it. You're too grateful. Maybe not too grateful. Hey, I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm just saying they're the lucky ones. Ignorance is bliss. You know what? I don't know. I wonder what my life would be like if I didn't know anything. If I didn't have any access to the outside world. I did think about that. Like, would I be miserable as a slave if I didn't understand that freedom could exist? I understand a little bit more now, though, why the Enlightenment and democratic ideas are very dangerous for dictators. I have so much more reading to do though. I'm still very ignorant. You'd be lonely? I don't know, maybe I would have more friends. Maybe not though. Life in Plato's cave. Good morning, White Run, how are you? Tummy hurts. The US should be proud. Just curb, what is jingoism again? Pretty good for a world dominating empire. Anyway. Meow. I felt the difference in the US after Moscow and Tashkent. Do be proud. Thank you, Accentique. I do think that if you're able to travel, that is one way to get a reality check for sure about life and things that you take for granted, especially if you travel to, I don't know, countries that have less of the freedoms or less of the conveniences and the creature comforts than what you're used to. But another way to travel, I'm stealing this quote from, I think, is it Descartes? How do you say that man's name? Something like reading books is pretty much traveling. Reading books is like traveling all over the place and through time. So I'm trying to read more. Anyway, I can't believe I talked about like vaguely political things for another 20 minutes. This is not love talk. This is worse. I'll start this stream. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, everyone, everywhere in the world. Thank you for tuning in to Love Talk with me, Mrs. Moonson. Moonson. Is chat a book? I like that thought process. And good morning, Liz Lop. I like the idea of that. Cat as a book. Moonson. My tummy hurts. Yes, we make time. We make time for the love talk. This is a daily talk show where a kitten who's smitten chats about love, life, anime, and current events, apparently. Today is Sugoi Nani Day Saturday, also known as What the Fuck Saturday. It's a day where I cover the strange, the bizarre, the abnormal, the taboo. It's a day that I'm most likely to be cancelled. I'm not doing any anime today. I'm also not really gonna talk about romance. All I do is tell lies. I'm not gonna do cancel corner either because I have too many marshmallows to read. Dictator is just another way of doing the same. A good dictator can be good and fix things politician can. A king can do it too, but they have their own problems. If their kids are stupid and evil and people are trapped basically, with politician they are trapped too, but in different ways. I'm fundamentally against dictators and kings because no person is perfect. And yeah, I don't want one person to rule the whole world. I don't want one person's beliefs to rule the whole everything, but it's not up to me. But whatever. You goon a lot. Who's your favorite artist? I don't think I'm allowed to say those names. Not even yourself? I don't want to tell people what to do. No. I'll tell Moonies what to do because they're not people. Moonies are above people. Moonies are better than humans. She was gonna say yay. Ah, 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 ah. I'm very confused. I will. I'm very confused by the chat today. The barman was saying they're getting the euro. It's all his money is gonna be converted. He's losing half his money. Sorry about that, fellow King Ollie. I did read something today about money because I want to switch my bank. I want to switch my business bank to a credit union, but apparently credit unions have standards. I'm just tired of getting charged $16 a month because I'm poor. So here are the options. I either need to accumulate savings so that I can have enough money in my accounts so that I don't get charged every month, or I have to find another place to put my money. It's a bit more complicated than that, but it's not the end of the world, but I'll figure something out. The other thing too, it's hard to find information online because everything is a commercial. Yes, sheeple. Yes, sheeple. I am thinking about cryptocurrency, but I don't believe there is a great. So I need a place. I need a place to accept funds from like PayPal or Stripe from the payment processors. I don't know if there's a place. Anyway. I'm not saying any credit union has rejected me. I'm saying that I did a cursory search and I found that credit unions need to know like you have to live locally, you have to have a real job and stuff like that. I don't know. Yeah. Don't put your money in the banks. It's too late. It's already in there. Why don't you live with roommates to save money and invest it? I live with my parents. What do you mean? 30 and didn't have a credit card. Okay. Yeah. Is the German N word the only thing that gets censored? No. Are there no citizens advice places where you are? I don't leave my house. I don't leave my house. What do you mean? VTuber credit union. We should start it ourselves. Just don't have money, right? Hustling the street. Okay, okay, okay. I sell feet pics for a living. You don't need to have a job. Okay, I need to do more research then. Anyway, what I was trying to say, it's hard to find reliable advice about banks and stuff because so much of it is inundated with like subversive advertisements where there will be like a Reddit thread and in the comments there'll be like I solved all my problems by switching my funds over to this place. It's like, oh yeah, I used to deal with this issue at, big bank insert bank here. And now I have all my money with blah 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 blah, and I don't even get charged anything every month, right? And it's like a thinly veiled, like it's definitely their marketing team. I don't believe those are real people. You need a regular bank account. Things get insanely complicated, and you can't advance in life without one. Okay, L4 man. That was another possibility that I was trying to consider. I was like, okay, so one possibility is to find a banking solution that doesn't charge me for being poor. Another possibility is to just not be poor. Right? If I had, I think, like $5,000, then all of these problems would not be problems anymore. Don't get financial advice from Reddit. It's literally bots. Yeah, I know now. It used to not be like that as much, but now it definitely is. Venmo started a Federal Reserve Bank. Uh-oh. Can't buy drugs with a credit card? I never tried. I wouldn't know. Thank you, Mama. Why are you awake so late? Also, nice pictures of the doggies. I saw them on your Twitter today. You're a dog groomer now? I'm so proud of you. Look, you have stupid cat girls like me. I can't even get one job, and then you have Mama with like 9 jobs. A little bit jealous. Only a little bit. Anyway. I don't even know how to do my stream anymore. Relationship tip of the week. I thought of one. Cheerleader effect. If you want to hack or cheat to seem more attractive, go out into crowded areas or travel in groups. People seem more attractive when in crowds or groups because our brains can't take in everything all at once, so it averages the faces of everyone it's looking at. Interesting. If if you are a nickel traveling in a group of dimes, you look like you've got 2 extra pennies. Is that how that works? Does having hot friends make you look hotter? I don't understand this. I don't understand this. Get it from TikTok. Get advice from TikTok. Online banks are good. Capital One. Okay, I don't know much about it, but I'll look into other one. Anyway, um, now you can't go out with a bunch of butterfaces and expect to look like a queen. You've got to go out with a healthy mix of hots and nots to get the full effect. This is why I'm single. This is why I will remain to be single. Not Signal. Not Signal, the app, the messaging app. I will continue to be single because I don't want to go outside. I don't want to go outside in groups. I don't want to go outside and do the mathematics of like how hot are the people around me relative to me so I can get a mate. This is stupid. I'm not doing this. I'll just die alone. It's fine. It's fine. Ah, it's too much work. Moon, you're 10 to me. Thank you, Kanan. You're very sweet. Having ugly friends makes you look better? Want to be friends and see if it works. What's wrong with going outside in general? I'm afraid of being perceived. I did go outside today. I went for a walk at around 7 p.m. or 8. I can't remember. I think it was closer to 8. And every time I saw neighbors walking their dogs, I crossed the street because I didn't feel like interacting with people. Which I feel a little bit bad about because it's kind of mean. I could just say hello like a normal person. But I didn't feel like it today. You don't have to go outside. I'll be your mate. Pasta, you could do better. Okay, next. Wait, did I read that? Oh, okay, this is a different one. Are people speedrunning the death of internet anonymity? Like, I don't get how people think loudly celebrating Charlie Kirk getting shot is some kind of win. All you do is radicalize the side that currently holds the presidency, the House, and way more guns. It's not just haha we're edgy. It's saying we want you dead, and when you do that, don't be shocked when people take it seriously. You're practically begging for violence from people far more prepared and willing to deliver. You're also giving the government more excuses to kill off whatever scraps of internet freedom we've got left. They already spy, censor, and ban behind the scenes. Now you're just begging them to do it in the open with public support. I kind of take a similar but different. I have a different opinion on this, by the way. Um, I don't think this instance of Charlie Kirk's passing away or assassination, let's call it assassination because that's what it is. I don't think that is how do I say this? I don't think that is giving the government an excuse to become more controlling, more censor like have more censorship, less privacy. I think the government is already looking for those things, and if it wasn't Charlie Kirk, they would just wait for something else. Do you understand? Like nothing, I don't think anything is by accident. And the media, because even though social media gives us the some illusion of freedom because anyone can post anything, not anything can trend, not and like things get suppressed all the time. Oh, sorry, Kanan. Okay, it's just murder, my bad, I'm sorry, words have meanings. Okay, he was murdered, my bad, my bad. Anyway, but what I'm trying to say is like I don't think the answer um I don't think I don't think I feel like we are getting distracted once again. Why why focus on people who are laughing or saying bad things about what happened, right? Like if they're celebrating it, I'm not saying you should like it or you have to feel good about it, but by giving it so much attention and elevating it so much, that's also helping governments become more oppressive and make more rules. If you censor people by saying, "Hey, you're not allowed to say that," I feel like and the same thing like I think it invites more, right? Because some people want to be famous whether it's for a good reason or a bad reason, right? So I think that yeah, I feel like I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm not making a lot of sense. I feel like we're being told that our words are incitement and that people saying edgy things online is going to directly cause deaths or something like that. But that's giving up all agency and all self control. You can read something online that you disagree with and move on. You can read something online that's abhorrent and not start a civil war, right? So it's like I feel like we're getting brain fucked, right? Like at the end of the day, each person should be responsible for themselves and be held responsible for their own actions, right? Um and when I say actions, I mean that literally, like for their actions, not for not for words that aren't like, directly threatening. But whatever. Loving this extra long stream. I'm talking too much because I have a lot of thoughts about this. I have a lot of thoughts about this. News plays out like cinema, sound effects and everything. Yeah, exactly. Didn't they pushed to have a Remembrance Day? Maybe they did. And also, all of this is also the reason why I mentioned the drone striking civilians. Because I guarantee you, somewhere in the world today, a random person minding their own business, trying to live life, go to the grocery store, was probably murdered. Probably murdered. And no one really cares. But I mean, I'm not saying no one cares. That's not true. People care. But I'm saying that what I when I say no one cares, what I actually mean is governments are not using that or highlighting that to cause, you know, to stir emotions because it doesn't benefit them. I do believe that the sensationalization of this whole event is being used with a purpose that in the end is going to hurt people. Someone got stabbed on the train and that boosted Kirk's outrage. Yeah. Sudden increase in self-policing because you're starting to feel afraid is the sign things are getting worse. I agree, Accent T. Yeah. I agree, Accent T. And I feel like there's a lot of double speak in a way. It's sort of like, yeah, words definitely have power. Words have power, but again, what happened to autonomy? Like, are there really that many people who are absolutely sheep? And, as long as some crazy person says something on the internet, they're gonna go and do it? The answer might be yes. There might be a lot of those crazy people. And I feel like that's a big issue. I think that's a big problem. Um, and even in that case, I don't believe that suppression of freedom of speech is the answer. I think intervention for those kinds of people, whether I don't know what that takes. I don't know if that's like an IQ thing or what, but yeah. Uh, the influence takes time, it happens. Yeah, I don't know. I know we're all susceptible to something, right? But the other thing too is like, um, with giving the government control over what gets censored and what doesn't get censored, you're still admitting that okay, words have power, but now you're giving the government permission to dictate which words hold the power. At least with freedom of speech, that you potentially have a marketplace of free ideas, and hopefully the best ideas can rise to the top, right? You know how hearing about horrible events makes people feel bad? This is why news doesn't report on the constant murders happening in locations. People will just get super depressed if they find out. People were murdered a city away from me. People are empathetic. We don't really need to hear about every single murder happening every single day. I don't think that we do need to. Um, but I feel like whenever we are, so I think that's a good point, Oni-chan. Um, that we would be overwhelmed if we had to know about every single little bad event that's happening all around us all the time. It would be way too much. It would be very painful, psychologically damaging. So when a specific case is being highlighted, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, it's important to know that a given murder occurred. For who? Is it actually though? Because honestly, the other thing too is it's honestly it's a waste of my life. I'm not going to be able to do anything to take care or protect or prevent any of these types of murders. Um so it's like, what is this? I don't know, I'm not saying be cold and callous, but, you know, I have my own problems. I don't think I should be spending so much time thinking about these things. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, yeah. I think there has to be some sort of limit. Yeah, but Rio 137, what I'm arguing, like you're saying it's newsworthy. According to who? Who decides? Who decides which deaths are newsworthy? They're saying don't make fun of people murdered. People literally say, yeah, but it's just words, right? Okay, his people said his family should also die. I don't think that's making fun of it. I think saying his family should also die is that making fun of it? But even if it's horrendous, right? I don't think that's a good thing to say at all. You don't have to adopt it. Just because someone says something you don't agree with or you don't like, you don't have to adopt it. You don't have to hold on to it. You could just notice and let it go. Um and again, if the argument is that words like that are going to lead to repeat events, I would say that the censorship of words like that is more likely to lead to repeat events than I think giving it so much traction, so much reaction is what elevates it and blows it up. I don't know if I'm making sense, but this is just my idea. I could be very wrong, honest with you. Anyway, I didn't mean to make the Moonies sad again or to make you guys argue with whatever. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. Anyway, I hope that we can focus on our own lives, and I hope that we learn to be less reactive instead of instead of cuddling up with authoritarianism for the sake of protecting feelings or something like that, right? So I I I don't know any sane person that is going to see some horrendous words and then go out and do something really horrible because of it, right? We talked about it earlier. There's probably tons of crazies that would do stuff like that. But for average people, I don't think it's that much of a big deal. The other thing too is it doesn't have to come from the top down. There doesn't need to be a law or government in place. We can all decide as a collective that when people say horrible things, we're not going to engage with it and we're going to what do you call it? Instead of having it be a law, you could just use social norms to shame or to ignore, discourage, move on. And then also the platforms themselves. If you try to upload something that's illegal, Twitter, well, maybe Twitter's not a good example. The platforms have ways, right? They have ways to censor posts and content and suppress it. They could just do the same thing. It doesn't have to come from government. And I have less, honestly, I have less of a knee-jerk negative reaction to that because social media sites are privately owned, right? So, a company can do what a company wants to do, more or less. I'm not saying I have to like it, but they've been doing it all along and they will continue to do it. So yeah, rather than having it uh, I think a better alternative is let people say their dumb shit and then just have it go to a void. Let it get, throttled and suppressed into the void so it doesn't get pushed into whatever loop. Anyway, I said too many words. I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna be hard for me to side with the people who want to see us have fewer freedoms because other people say things or do things they don't like. I don't know if I don't know if I agree with that. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta leave. I gotta go. I give you guys a quote. Sorry for going to 50 minutes today. I gotta stop talking about politics. Don't look outside yourself for approval. This was stolen from that place known as Twitter, otherwise known as X. From my father's over there. I'm working on this one. I realized that I let the Moonies coddle me so much. I look to you all for approval and head pats, and even though I say I'm not cute, I get shy when everyone says I'm cute sometimes, or when some people say it. So instead of looking for you guys for permission, I want to approve of myself a little bit more and just I leave. I'm shy now. Love you guys. Yeah. Thank you for letting me let some of those brainworms out. I hope you have a great weekend and a lot of fun this weekend. Um, I love you. I'll try to love myself too. Thank you, Frank Kester, for visiting. Pet pats to all the kitty cats. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll have a business meeting. I'll try to bring some nice numbers and stuff. Oh man, you're right. Almost a whole hour and I didn't mention that thing that must not be mentioned.